Kobbie menu management plan revealed by Erik ten Hag. We are having Scott Mctominay accepting that this guy is really a class apart, and all that and more into this long video. Kobbie menu strictly, and hope you guys are really gonna enjoy it, because I know how much you, the subscribers of this channel, idolize this 18-year-old United graduate from the academy. It's a Sunday. We thank God for the gift of life. Those going to church, safe journey, and may the living to God protect you abundantly, and may Him bless you, endlessly. And those that are really going to pray from home, God is everywhere, right? So let's obviously wait and see how that's going to pan out. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and we're here to obviously take you through a lot of stories that are surrounding Kobbie menu as far as his development and management plan is concerned. Now let's get close to 100 likes smashing this video, and let's obviously get into eyes. Remember, today we are playing Tottenham Hotspur, and Kobbie menu is really one of those players that we anticipate can obviously get into the mix. Now, Ten Hag on Kobbie menu has said you have to accept that he cannot play 3 games all 90 minutes in the Premier League in 6 days, all 7 days. That is not possible. You have to manage that, or manage the process, because you don't want him to get injured again. So that's what Erik ten Hag is saying about Kobbie menu, and I think it's a confirmation that Kobbie menu is going to be starting almost every game for Man United, provided we are playing in a space of 6-7 days. Because if you're having 1 game per week, then Kobbie menu qualifies. If we were playing into the Champions League, and maybe in the midweek we are going to have a game, then it's hard to obviously field him. But with the return of Casemiro, Eriksen, that shows you that he is gonna really have some rest, especially if you are to play in the midweek, because after February we are going to be getting some midweek games in the Premier League. So Erik ten Hag has a lot of management plan for this guy, and when Erik ten Hag talks about managing a young lad, I think he's the right person to talk about it, because he is really one of those people that have always gone ahead to obviously manage young talent. You remember it very well at Ajax, that cream de la cream went ahead to bring up, Matthias de Ligt. You remember him very well. You can talk about Mazrui, you can talk about Frank de Jong, you can talk about Donny van de Beek, you can talk about Canares. Who else should we talk about that went ahead to obviously bring up? There is another shift that he brought in through that had Lisandro Martinez, that had Anthony, that had Klasinic, Alvaro Martinez, Gravenberch, who else? There are very many people that he went ahead obviously to grow when they're young. Julian Timber is another one that really went ahead obviously brought in through from the academy, and they went ahead obviously get him into the starting 11 of Ajax. So when he explains how to groom a young player to the levels he's expected to be playing at, he's the right person to explain it, and he doesn't want to really exploit this young lad and obviously take him for exploitation. And I really love it about him. Let's reserve him a little bit, but I think today he's one of those players that should start, because I don't want to see Casemiro start. The last time he started, when he's coming from injury, we saw that he only managed to play, I think, 35 minutes, and he was taken off. You're playing against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, and we lost. So that obviously shows you that it's not one of those moments that we had to obviously bring him back. So I want to see Casemiro come off the bench, and Kobbie menu and Eriksen starting that double pivot. I don't want to see Scott Mctominay start this game of football at Old Trafford tonight. So it's pretty good to see here the manager really has a very good management plan for Kobbie menu, and I think this is the right guy for us to have. Let's groom young talent that we have from the academy, and let's obviously supplement it with experience, and time will come when we've gone ahead to graduate very many players into the first team. When you look at Erik ten Hag, do you know that I was going to graduate very many first teamers than Jurgen Klopp, Arteta, and even Pep Guardiola ever since he came into the club of Man United? I can count you names. of those players are going to have to graduate into the first team of Man United. Kamboala, 1. Garnacho, 2. Hannibal, Danigo, I think Kobbie Mainoo. He has gone ahead to graduate like 5 players into the first team of Man United, and that shows you the greatness about this manager. When you look at Pep Guardiola, for the many years has been at Manchester City, I've seen Phil Foden graduate from the academy. Now there is this Bob guy that's going to have to come in and obviously put in a shift. You get Carl Palmer, I can also count him. So he has not brought in, I think, even Rico Lewis. They're like 4 players in the years has been here at Manchester City, meaning that Ten Hag, in just his 1 year and a half, he has gone ahead to bring in very many players into the first team of Man United, and more are still coming. More are still coming, provided that a lot comes into. Even Alvaro Fernandez, that has been obviously sent to a loan with an option to buy to Benfica, has also been one of those players that Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to bring into the first team. And for that case, I count Pelestri and Amad Diallo as academy players, and has gone ahead to get them into the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. So he has done a lot, and he's still bringing in more players from the academy, and we know that in the preseason we are going to get more graduates from the academy. And the beauty he's doing is he's really getting these players out, especially if at all you click 20 years and you've not gone ahead, obviously find yourself in a position of getting into the first team of Man United, he takes you off. You see Alvaro Fernandez, Zidane Iqbal, Charlie Savage, Chongi, and very many others. He has gone ahead, obviously, send them to where they deserve to be. And he's clearing out very many players. And academy players are leaving the club of Man United. Emeran left. Now Mejia has also gone ahead to leave, to Sevilla. And very many more are being cleared out from the club of Man United. That's the beauty of this manager. That's why I'll always put my hand for such a manager, because I know exactly what he's doing. Clearing the deadwood is not something easy that happens just in a day or a season. It might need him 2 or 3 seasons to clear out the deadwood, right? So after that, even Scott McTominay has gone ahead and obviously spoken a lot about Kobbie Mainoo. He has said Kobbie Mainoo is brilliant, taking everything in his stride. He's still a young player, and people don't want to put too much hype around him. Just let him progress and enjoy playing his football, because the future is so bright. Scott McTominay, for me, I cannot come out and say that don't put pressure on to Kobbie Mainoo. For me, I think a player with the talent of Kobbie Mainoo comes up with a lot to really handle what we call that pressure. That is it. He's a different caliber of player altogether, let's all admit. And the beauty of all is that he's having Erik ten Hag as his manager. Ten Hag knows exactly how to groom these players. Remember what Alejandro Garnacho did in the preseason when Erik ten Hag came here for the very first time in 2022, when we went to Thailand and Melbourne, plus I think Austria. What happened was simple. Erik ten Hag saw the attitude of Garnacho when it was not right, but he had gone ahead to appreciate the quality of the player, and he never played him during the preseason. That is it. He never played. Even in the season, he made the bench, but he never always played him, because he was punishing him and trying to groom him into a better player. And when you look at Alejandro Garnacho right now, he is a very good player. He knows exactly what to do, and he knows what can happen. According to the examples that Ten Hag has gone ahead to set for him at Man United, that even Ronaldo, a person that Garnacho looks up to, who is one of the goats of this game, Ten Hag used to bench him, and they fell off, and he sent him out of Manchester United. Look at Jadon Sancho. So he has gone ahead to really groom these players into the type of players he wants, because discipline comes first in every aspect of life. If you are indisciplined, nothing can take you to where you deserve to be. And I think Kobbie Mainoo has a manager who is going to teach him to obviously handle this pressure, and he's trying to get his mentality right, and that is Erik ten Hag for you. And for me, I don't really agree with Scott McTominay that pressure shouldn't be really put onto the lad, because when you put on a jersey of Manchester United, you are representing 1 billion fans on that pitch. So don't expect all those 1 billion fans to obviously come up with the same stains on your performance. When you perform well, they'll all say he has performed well, he deserves his flowers, and you'll be given your bragging rights. When you do the opposite, it will leave a divided opinion in the audience of Man United. Time will come and they'll tell you, no, what you're going to hate to do is bad. You understand? And others will come and stand in for you. So, Scott McTominay should just tell Kobbie Mainoo that you're putting on a shirt of Man United. At Man United, the moment you don into that shirt, you are as old as me. You are as old as Bruno Fernandes, because we are going to judge you according to who was not going to hate to come in through and really play in your position. So, that is it. And I think he's really a quality player, and Scott McTominay needs to get certain facts right about the player. Then, Omari Forson, he said, I think Kobbie Mainoo is playing a lot recently, and there is a lot of other academy boys who have come through and the system as I have. So I think that's really helped me. So Omari Forson is one of those players that made his debut when you're playing against Wigan, and he's one of those that doesn't want to renew his contract at Man United, and he wants to walk out on a free transfer. And Man United are really trying to convince him to stay, and don't be surprised for Forson to be the next academy graduate, to obviously be a regular into the team of Man United by the start of next season, because Ten Hag is going to hate to see a lot of potential in him. In the preseason, he used him a lot, and you saw to it that he has traveled with the team a lot. Even when you're playing against Arsenal, he was on the bench. Very many games by the Forson has been on the bench, and Eric Ten Hag has dared to sit either brings him on the field of play to sit either he obviously plays into the team of Man United, and is obviously looking after Kobbie Mainoo. And the likes of Forson should obviously look up to Kobbie Mainoo, Garnacho, because they've gonna hate to get into the starting 11 of Man United, the likes of Kamboala, right? Because Eric Ten Hag is this kind of manager who will tell you the truth. If you don't match his standards to be playing at the club of Man United, he'll show you the exit door. He will show you the exit door. That is it. He will show you the exit door, like he has done for very many others. But for Forson, Ten Hag sees a very good player in Forson, and I think Omari should obviously understand that Ten Hag really loves him and he wants to stay. And I would love to see him at Man United, because he's a very good player and very versatile. He can play as a left forward, he can play as a right forward, he can also lead the line. That's the beauty of Omari, and that's why I want to keep him here at the club of Manchester United. So guys, your thoughts on Eric Ten Hag vocalizing Kobbie Mainoo's management program are welcome in the comment section below. Do you think he's right not to play him twice in a week, or the levels at which he's going to hit to reach, he can be played into that time? Some will say that's what affected Rooney, because he played very many games when he was still young and was not reserved. But you've seen players like Cesc Fabregas, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi being played game in, game out at the age of 18, 19, and they've gone ahead to play games until their late 30s. So, what do you make about that? Rock and David is my name. Good morning. It's a Sunday, and we thank God for the gift of life. And we are here to see to it that everything goes on as to plan. Not so. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. We out.